Are you a fan of horror movies?
Necronomicon Ex Mortis, the Book of the Dead.
What about cult classics?
Your move, creep.
If you are, you'll love Shocking Things. Please search for us on all the major podcasting platforms. To see our social media and a direct link to our podcast, please go to anchor.fm/shockingthings.
All right, everybody. This is the PWZ podcast, and joining me today is ring announcer extraordinaire, Matt Dacorte. How are you, sir?
I'm doing wonderful, Rick. How are you doing, my friend?
I am awesome. Welcome back. And you've been quite busy traveling all over the Northeast United States. And how many promotions are you up to now? Did you hit 11?
Right now, it's up to 9.
Okay.
I can tell you right now, as long as nothing falls through, by the end of November, it will be up to 11. So
That's awesome.
there's one that you will hear about very soon, which I am. Oh hell, I mean it's already announced, so I'll let you know. I'm going to be at a Cosplay Championship Wrestling at
Awesome.
Kineticon. So I will be working the Friday and Sunday shows. I have another commitment on that Saturday, which is Blood, Sweat, and Tears. So that's that one, and that's going to be a lot of fun, just because a lot of the wrestlers that I'm close with, from the scene up here, they're going to be cosplaying as superheroes, anime characters, which, me being a big old nerd, is right up my alley as well.
Right.
So, and then we're going to be wrestling, and it's going to be really cool. It's going to be something that I think is going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really excited to be a part of. So that's that one, and then the other one is I'm going to let that one simmer a little bit. So,
Okay. Is it in Connecticut or outside of Connecticut?
outside.
Oh, okay. Now, man, that's going to be a little hard to try to figure out. So basically, now it's Shut Up and Wrestle, Paradise Alley. You've done Vacation Land,
Yes, sir.
Blood, Sweat, and Tears. I've only got 4. What else am I missing?
Let me see if I can name them all too. Actually, hang on one sec.
I know I saw your list the other day.
Yes, and big props. Speaking of that list, big props to Don Kincaid for putting that graphic together, man. He crushed it with that. So let me see, because I'm going to read right off the graphic here. We got PAPW, Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling, Test of Strength, the two OGs in my career, and then Battlefront. I worked that this past June.
That's right.
Shut Up and Wrestle, as we mentioned. XWA, the Thursday Night Throwdowns, I've been a part of. Vacation Land, we threw out there. Blood, Sweat, and Tears. WCWE, they haven't had anything in a little bit, but they were one of my first stops when I was branching out. And then most recently is New World Wrestling Extreme in Rhode Island. This past July.
Yeah.
That was incredible.
I heard that.
Go ahead.
I heard that was a killer show. I heard it was like an awesome show.
It was a very long night, but it was very good and very enjoyable. I was very happy to be a part of it. Unfortunately, due to my commitments down here in Connecticut, I'm not able to make their next show, but they did just sign on with a tremendous ring announcer, Mike Falvo. He's great. I haven't gotten a chance to meet him yet. I would love to pick his brain, but I mean, I've heard his work, and he's very good. So you can't go wrong with a guy like that. So
I had him on about a month and a half ago, because he's part of the International Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame. He's like he does a lot of their social media and promoting it heavily. So I had him on, and he's a great dude. He's got a lot going for him, and he's all over the place as well.
Yes,
he's another guy. So
yes,
yeah,
and that's
he does
another thing too. Is he also does MMA, and that's one of the goals on my ring announcing bucket list. Is no matter if it's top of the line or just a regional promotion in front of all the fighters' family members and friends. But I do want to announce at least one MMA event in my lifetime.
he's done like soccer and other sports as well. I've noticed, according to his social media, that's pretty cool, man. It's really cool.
Yes, he's very diverse, and like I said, he's got the talent to back it up. So, like, you know, whenever I see his name is at a promotion, I'm just like, hey, it's in good hands. I don't need to worry about poking my nose in. So,
so my other question, I know because you brought up Mike Falvo, I want to know about this because on his TikTok, he had posted a bunch of videos regarding this. The WWE was doing the ring announcer search, and they were posting it all on TikTok. How come you're the first person I thought of that should take part in this? I almost tagged you in the post, but I was like, I don't know if you.
No, lots of people did. And a lot of people were aware of it. And this might surprise you because, you know, I'm 32 years old, so, you know, a lot of my peers, you know, at you know, my shoot job, and you know, like family members and whatnot, they're always like, oh, you're young, you know technology. And I have no idea how to work TikTok. I do not. I never got it. I never got into the craze. And you know, now is as good a time as any to put it out there. You know, like I said, a lot of people tagged me in it. I was aware of it. But this past month was kind of a tumultuous month for me. Nothing too bad, but you know, there were some things going on. I just recently changed jobs, shoot jobs. Because there were some things that, you know, that I wasn't getting, that I was getting not too thrilled with at the job I had, and you know, so my second to last week there was a business trip out to Colorado. So I went out to Colorado for there. Basically, then came back and then just busted my bum the next week to, you know, get all my stuff together, close out everything I could, and, you know, do my best to leave everything in a good place, all in 40 hours that week.
Wow.
So that was pretty challenging. And then, you know, making the transition to the new place, learning everything that I've been learning for the past week or so. And then, you know, keeping with the wrestling, and, you know, it's been, and this is not a bad thing by any means. It's just, you know, one of the things that, you know, I just haven't had a lot of time to process a lot of stuff, and because I've been all over. And then also too, you know, like I just recently moved out to Wallingford, roughly last year. I've been getting back into, you know, the dating game, talking to some ladies and stuff like that, and you know, so again, you know, with any relationships, you know, things, you know, some things go good, some things go bad, and whatnot, but it's just a lot of things. To sum it up, a lot of things in my personal life were happening and changing all at once, and it was very stressful, and it was very difficult to process, just because, as I mentioned, it was, you know, with the wrestling and you know, the Monday through Friday stuff, it was just go, and it's like you don't have a lot of time to compose yourself, and when you do, it was more like I was like, okay, I could do this TikTok thing, but at the same time, it's just I needed to turn my mind off, you know, when I wasn't, you know, working essentially. So I admit, you know, because of everything else going on, I let it slip through the crack, and it is what it is. But the bottom line is, you know, I definitely don't hate what I'm doing. I'm not going to, and you know, who knows if I in fact, I mean, I think it would be. Me personally, I'm just one of those guys where it's like, you know, I really take a lot of pride in earning things. So it's like, to me, you know, if I, you know, did it the quote unquote hard way, you know, doing it by just keep on grinding and getting my name out there and going to more places and doing it like that, I think that's honestly more rewarding than winning a contest. So,
all right, that's awesome though. That's awesome. It sounds like you're doing really great. Sounds like you got a lot of really good things in your life right now.
Yeah. Things have calmed down a lot now. I'm, like I said, like, you know, my headspace is a lot better. You know, it's not that it was in a bad space. It was just, like I said, it was
your life.
Yeah, it wasn't like, you know,
adulthood,
depressing or right, you know, volatile or anything. It was just overwhelming. So
right. I will say this though, since downloading the TikTok app, I've been completely obsessed with it. It's like I'm a 13-year-old kid, you know what I mean? But the funny part about it is recently I found that Marcel and was a Maximum Lou Jacobs both follow me on there, so they're both around my age. So I don't feel so sad being the only old person on there.
Oh, trust me, you're not, my friend. Trust me. There's one of my supervisors at my now previous job. Every now and then I'd hear him laughing from his office, and I'd be like, "What's going on?" And he'd be like, "Oh, I just saw this funny TikTok," and I'm like, "Oh." So
I use it as another avenue to promote this podcast and to promote, take everything that's going on in Connecticut and the Northeast wrestling scene and move it over there and try to get more people to watch our area as well. So I'm sure Matt Dacorte might have been featured there, here and there, somewhere on in a video or two on there.
hey, you never know. Never say never.
So you live in Wallingford. You moved there about roughly a year ago, and I know this has nothing to do with wrestling. This has nothing to do with the big event that you have coming up this weekend either. But do you have any good pizza in Wallingford?
Hey, I'm an open book, man. Ask away.
Any good pizza out there?
Yes. There's a place. It's called Carini's. It's over a little past the center of town, going towards North Branford.
Okay.
That area, but it's very good. A friend of mine who, ironically enough, now lives in North Branford, who used to live, basically said it was a go-to. In my opinion, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's not as good as New Haven style. That's my favorite. But
Is anything?
Well said. Well said. But I will say, in terms of around here, it's definitely the best pie I've had. So.
I mean, what good is a town if you don't have a good pizza place, right? I mean,
Right, man.
That's the most important thing. I mean, seriously, I didn't even know, and I know that we're getting, there's a lot more to talk about, but
sure.
This place, I literally lived on this street for about almost 4 years since we got this house, and there's a pizza place around the corner that I'd never been to until I think late last year. And then all of a sudden I discovered, I was like, holy shit, this is the best pizza outside of New Haven. I said, I don't have to drive down to Worcester Square to get a really good pizza because this is just as good. I'm not saying it's as good as Sally's or Pepe's, but it's definitely up there. Like,
killer.
So are you on the show this weekend? Tough and Talented? Are you on that show as a ring announcer?
No, because that's the same exact day as the Rumble. So
I know there's a couple of the same talents are running over to the Rumble in Paradise right after.
Yes, that is true. I'm not going to divulge which ones. I'll keep it a surprise for those that are going to be.
Not allowed to say.
What's that?
Not allowed to say. I know there is some, but I'm not. If you look at the flyer, you might see some that are on some of the flyers. But
very true. Eagle-eyed fans will be able to pick out who they are, and by process of elimination, put two and two together.
You just took part in Blood, Sweat, and Tears, their first show back. And I watched this today thanks to the awesome Don Kincaid, who filmed the entire show and then put it up on his YouTube channel. I was unable to attend the show. It was my wedding anniversary. So I was like,
well, happy anniversary, man. Hope you enjoyed.
I did.
Good.
I mean, it was one of those things where I was like, there's no way I'm dragging my wife to a wrestling show, indie wrestling show. I've dragged her to one or two before, and
I was gonna say that sounds that might be a one-sided anniversary gift, right?
Yeah. So I mean, she did show interest in coming to a Paradise Alley show at some point down the road. So I was like, all right, whatever, just say when. So, man, I thought that was a really good show from what I saw.
It was very solid. The thing I kind of liked the most about that show was the variety in it. We saw that there was the main event, Flash and Big Jim for the Blood, Sweat, and Tears Championship. Beautiful brand new championship belt.
That belt is beautiful. Oh my god, that's like one of the best belts I've seen in a very long time come out of the independent scene. I'm telling you, actually, it's better than any belt that's in the WWE. Like, it's better than any of those belts. It really is.
It's great. It truly is. And I'll get to something else that kind of ties into that, but But either way, I mean, like there was a lot of variety. Like I said, the main event was a hardcore match.
Yep.
You had a lot of matches that had some comedy and character driven stuff, like such as the triple threat tag team match.
Yeah.
And
it was pretty goofy at some parts,
oh yeah. I mean, anytime you put Buff Inc. into something, there's going to be some mayhem and some chaos.
That was my first time seeing those guys. Actually, I don't think I've ever seen them before.
They can, as you can see, they can be a little difficult, especially if you're a ring announcer. But they can also be they can also make it they can make it entertaining for sure.
Right. Yeah, man, that was good. I really enjoyed Kylon King and Ichiban. Those two guys
Those two and it just goes, and that goes kind of back to what I was saying before, is that seeing that belt on Flash makes me smile. And just seeing the thing I really like about, well, there's a lot I like about Blood, Sweat, and Tears. One of the things is that they're a very young promotion, but they have excellent production. Some of the I'm gonna post the promo picture they took of me beforehand. I mean, I look like a stud. It's and the production, and there are some promotions on the indies that have been around much longer than Blood, Sweat, and Tears that have much less production than Blood, Sweat, and Tears does. And the thing is too is that not only are they coming up as a promotion, but they're also taking the up and comers around the scene here and focusing on them as main attractions. And you got Dustin Flash Waller as your champion. You got the Haven now are the tag team champions there. You're going to have Kai facing Lucas Chase. Lucas is just coming back from his time, honing his skills at Rhodes Wrestling Academy. And, we just mentioned Kai and Ichiban. They just had a complete barn burner of a match. And I've seen them work, and they're just two guys that just have outstanding chemistry when they face each other.
Absolutely.
And so basically, to tie it all up in a nice little bow, I posted about this on Facebook prior to the event too, and on Instagram at MJ Dacorte and Matt Dacorte on Facebook. But either way, I saw the poster, and the poster had the Haven, Kai, Ichiban, Flash, Big Juicy, and all of them I at the very least saw, and in some cases announced, their very first matches. And to see how far they've come in such a short amount of time has just been absolutely amazing to see their journeys and to see them grow and to see them continue to grow. And I'm telling you, it's only a matter of time until they blow up. And that's what is a lot of fun about working Blood, Sweat, and Tears, is that they're coming up as a company. They're promoting the guys that are coming up as wrestlers, guys and girls that are coming up as wrestlers, and it's a very symbiotic relationship, and it's very cool.
Right. I see the video production that they do for, say, their promos and their video packages and stuff, and that it's not just some whatever, it's not done on a tablet, or what I mean. It's like they really take the time, they really invest it. And also that Lucas Chase match, he wrestled, oh crap, I'm gonna forget who it was now. It was Jared Diaz, right? Yeah, that was a good match in itself too. I think Chase is a very, very good wrestler. On top of it, I think I like his the cure gimmick, whether he's face or heel, depending on where he's working, whatever. But I think that kid's got a future as well. So
absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the thing too. It's not only when he brings in the ring, but it's also just to pull the curtain back a little bit here. There was an event I was working toward. It was a closed door event, taping in the winter time at the end of 2020, and Lucas Chase was there, and the guy in charge of production that particular events, he was like, oh, we were doing promos. He was filming promos, for all the wrestlers and stuff. And he said, oh, I wonder who I should get to do a promo next. And I said, why don't you get Lucas? I mean, he can cut a hell of a promo. And there was another wrestler there, a prominent wrestler, and he said, oh yeah, Lucas can talk. And Lucas comes up, cuts the promo. Producer puts the phone down. He's like, damn. So he's got He can walk the walk. He can talk the talk and walk the walk.
Yeah, he can carry it in the ring, man. And good for him going down there and training with Dustin at the Rhodes Academy. He won the title there, and the guy's been killing it. He's been out there killing it. It's really cool.
It's funny too because I got a lot of friends that are really big into AEW now. So they watch Dynamite, Dark, Rampage, and all that stuff. So when Lucas was on Dark, they announced him was from Connecticut. So I got a few text messages. They're like, hey, do you know that wrestler that was from Connecticut that was on Dark? And I was like, oh, do I know him? I also have him in my phone book. Oh, look at me, I'm so cool. Yeah, but no, seriously, like he deserves everything he's gotten so far. I mean, he's put in a lot of work, and he is really starting to come into his own. And Jared Diaz, speaking of him too, he's another guy to keep your eye on as well.
Really, that's the first time I saw him. Was that video that this weekend? So I'm gonna look him up more.
Yeah, no, I've seen him up at XWA a few times, and very good work up there. Very good work up there.
That's awesome. So, did you watch AEW Rampage on Friday? Excuse me, I skipped.
I did.
What did you think, man? I was actually in the middle.
Me, like I know it's been there's a lot of different opinions and takes and reviews on it out there, but I got to say this, me personally, because of my journey, both as my journey as a fan in pro wrestling, CM Punk is very big in that journey. He's in depending on what week it is, he's usually in my top 3, but no less than my top 5 of favorite wrestlers of all time. So it was just one of those things where it's like for 7 years, like all those clickbaity wrestling news websites would be like, oh, CM Punk return rumor, see it like every other week for 7 years, and eventually it was just like after a while you're just like, I'm not clicking on your little things, and then so I was just kind of one of those things. It's like I'll believe it. If I see it, I'll believe it. If I see it,
that's exactly what I said. Yeah.
As it got closer and closer, it's just like, okay, this seems like it's real this time. And then, sure enough, I mean, what a moment! Like, what a moment! Like, it was so smart of them to do that first, because if they had waited to the end to try and surprise, like, you could have put Prime AJ Styles against Prime Shawn Michaels on that, and they still probably would have chanted CM Punk over that. Like, that's
that's all you would have gotten for an entire hour is CM Punk chants if they didn't put that on first.
Exactly, and so that's the thing. And to me, it's like, especially now too, we've talked, privately over messages about the future of NXT. If NXT starts going in the direction that they say it's going in, and by all accounts, it sounds like that's unfortunately, or I say unfortunately because it's not the NXT that I fell in love with, or it's not going to be the NXT that I fell in love with from the sounds of it. So basically, if that happens, I think I just might be a full-time AEW fan. Actually, scratch that. A full-time AEW fan and an occasional New Japan fan as well, because New Japan has been putting in some very good stuff this year as well.
They have been. I've been watching a lot. If NXT really does go in that direction, I just watched an interview with Nick Khan. Was it? I think it was Saturday. The interview with Ariel Helwani. I'm sure you're familiar with that guy. And it was something that Marcel actually pointed me in the direction of, and it was just like because it just sounds like they're open for business and they're just taking NXT to a different level. Like, remember how like the older OVW was, where they just were trying to create the next biggest star? Yep. They don't have big stars that are bigger than the company anymore. And Cena was that guy. You know what I mean? So there's nobody that's that big anymore. So that's what they're going to try to create. They're going to use NXT as that vehicle.
It does make sense, because it's like, for me, it's like, the glory days of NXT, were when they had, Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Kenta, formerly known as Hideo Itami, Neville, now Pac. Like that was when it really started, blowing up. And to your point, you look back at the OVW, you look back at that, vaunted class of, the whatever it was with the, John Cena, Randy Orton, Batista, like that's Brock, that's
Yep.
that's the prime example, I think, of they're probably looking at that like, okay, we did that, like why can't we do that again? And
it's also wrestling's in a different place than it is then as well, though. You know what I mean?
Right.
And NXT was created as a kind of a vehicle to kind of attract the fans of like PWG, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, Ring of Honor, that kind of style. You know what I mean? And they're just going to go away. If they're actually going to go away with it, it's not really going to be a reason to really tune in much. You know what I mean? Because it's like only really tune into pay-per-views as it is right now. So
right,
not,
and that
you know.
and that's the same for me. That's kind of exactly where I'm at. Like I don't watch Raw or SmackDown. There just wasn't anything to pull. There just wasn't anything to pull me in on it.
Yep.
NXT, there was still. And granted, it wasn't. I think NXT peaked when they did the Undisputed Era, Undisputed Gold angle, where they all had all the championships in there. I think that was when it started. After that is when it started to go downhill, and it's just it's so funny too because again, I'm in the business, like it is what it is, but at the same time, I'm still a fan, and I will never not be a fan. So, putting my fan hat on now, it's like my favorite matches of all time. My top 3 is entirely NXT matches, and mostly because I was there, but at the same time, it was because watching it from the beginning and watching it kind of, how it was a developmental, but it's kind of accidentally an international / indie, like by accident. It was awesome, and they just put on so many quality, fun matches, great storylines, had some fun characters, and it was, to me, it was everything you could ask for as a wrestling fan. And I'm sad to see it go, but CM Punk's back.
I think there's going to be some good stuff going on in AEW there. Now this weekend, man, let's get in there. Rumble in Paradise.
Yes, sir.
Paradise Alley. It's the debut on the FITE TV. Sorry, it's the low cost of $9.99. So you can't be in attendance. Just spend the $9.99. You're going to get a great matchup. A bunch of great matches on this show. Matt Dacorte, our guest here today, is going to be a big part of it as it's the ring announcer.
Yes, sir. Yes, and then let me tell you what, this was such a huge news that this is going to be on FITE TV. Ever since I knew that I had what it takes to be a ring announcer on the independent pro wrestling circuit, I always wanted to see me on the TV with a FITE TV logo somewhere nearby, and to be able to finally do that with the promotion that made me who I am, just makes it even more special. So I'm extremely excited to be a part of this, and it will be worth every single penny of that $9.99. It'll be worth every single penny of the live admission if you're going to go see it live. And this will not disappoint, and we are very excited to bring it to all you, the fans.
I'll be there in person. I'm going to tell you something. Because I love Paradise Alley as much as I do, I actually bought the pay-per-view as well. So that's how good the show is going to be. I'm going to be there in person, and I bought the pay-per-view. So you got the Rumble match, 30 men. The winner gets a title shot. Whoever is the champion at the end of the night for Diesel Mania between Matthias and Richard Holiday.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be... I don't know, man. I kind of have my predictions as to who I think is going to win out of the dozen or so names that have been announced. I don't know if it's actually been a dozen. It might have been less than that, but unless it's just going to be a surprise entrant that wins. Is it going to be Paul Roma or Mario Mancini that wins the Rumble?
Hey, you never know. They have a chance.
You never know. They're both
have a chance. I mean, we saw Edge win the Royal Rumble this past year.
Yeah, we did.
You never know, and you can never count the for sure.
I'd probably pop if Mario won. I'll be honest with you.
He
And you get the world
deserves it, man.
the world tag team titles, 3-time longest reigning Paradise Alley. I hope I didn't get that.
And the best tag team in the world.
And the best tag team in the world. I'm sorry, I couldn't get it all.
Which between you and me is debatable, but I might hear that later. But you know, it is what it is. You know, I don't have the suit on right now, so.
Man, they always got to harass you before the match, though, too. They're going to be taking on.
And listen, you know, I might have got my feelings involved, but let's face it here: the House of Pain, they are the 3-time longest reigning Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling Tag Team Champions, and they are one of, if not the best tag teams out there today. They work like a well-oiled machine. They're powerful as all hell, and they have the pedigree. I mean, they've been champions in just about every single promotion I've seen them in, not just Paradise Alley. So it's they know how to talk the talk. Believe me, I'm well aware of that. But they can also walk the walk as well.
All jokes aside, you know, they are a great tag team.
Tremendous tag team.
They do put on some great matches. Now, if you remember Unchained last year, prior to the pandemic, I think it was the last show before the pandemic.
It was that was my last show before the pandemic. I remember it well.
There was a little mishap. There was a 3-way match between the House of Pain, Waves and Curls, and Team España, and Trayvon Jordan pinned Nick Payne, but his leg was underneath the ropes. So, you know, this is pretty incredible. And now Waves and Curls are getting a shot over probably a year and a half later. So this is, I wonder if that drama is going to come into play.
This has been something that has been unresolved, like you said, Rick, for over a year now, and it's finally going to come to a head. And here's the thing: like I said, the House of Pain, they are the chiseled veterans. They are on top. They know what it takes to be the best wherever they go. But here's the thing: Waves and Curls are starting to become one of the best wherever they go. I mean, they've been to they're stalwarts and regulars in Northeast wrestling. XWA, 2 of the biggest promotions in the Northeast. Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling is going to be up there very soon, don't get me wrong. But, right now, it's like they've been making their mark. They've been going up to Maine. I believe they've done Limitless a couple of times.
Limitless,
and that's a pretty big deal. And so they are making the rounds. They're gaining tons of experience. Hell, they've been down to AEW as well. I remember seeing them.
They worked 2 matches, I believe.
Yes, they did. And that's the thing. It's like you don't go down there unless you're talented. And so, and not only that, but they probably had the opportunity to pick the brains of just about anyone that.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Yeah, I know.
So
they had to be incredible right there.
And so, in just over a year, I think that the House of Pain are going to face a completely different, much more motivated Waves and Curls. So look forward to that one for sure.
I hate to say how I think that this one's going to end up, just in case House of Pain's listening. On top of that, let's see what else we got. The world title. Oh, the Brick City Boys and the Haven. The Brick City Boys attacked the Haven. About 2 months ago, or no, it was a month ago. They came out after the Haven defeated the Team España, and then they just went after them for no reason. It didn't seem like, but now the Haven seems to get seeking their revenge at Rumble in Paradise.
Right, and you want to talk about the young tag teams that are getting tons of experience. Let me tell you what, the Haven, every single time I see them, they add something new to their repertoire. Whenever I went up to XWA, which was not even their home promotion, the reactions that they've got, it wasn't quite CM Punk in Chicago level, but it was. If I started productions too soon, I would not be able to hear myself because it was that loud for these guys, and they have earned every bit of it. They put in the work, and it shows. They're one of the most dynamic, talented young tag teams that are out there today. But listen, let's not take away from the Brick City Boys. They call themselves the Brick City Boys because they're from New Jersey, but they also hit like a ton of bricks as well. These are 2 very strong, very in unison, cohesive tag team unit, and they work very well together. And it's going to be a styles clash because you're going to have the athleticism of the Haven and the strength and the brawling style of the Brick City Boys, and it's going to collide. And they say in the MMA world, styles make fights, and I think that applies to wrestling as well. And this is a prime example of that.
No, I think that these Brick City Boys, it's not just a name. They're just like running, like the Haven are going to be like running into brick walls in a way. Those two dudes especially the big dude, he's, he does not look like he moves easily. So
no, I've seen them in action, and trust me, they don't.
On top of that, there's a Kylon King has an open challenge. So this one I am interested in seeing. He's been killing it as of late. We just talked about him earlier in the Blood, Sweat, and Tears show, and he's been killing it with matches against guys like Jay Bougie. I think he wrestled Maxim at one match, and I'm trying to remember. There was another one recently. Oh, Marcel Williams, excuse me, which I thought was a phenomenal wrestling match. So
absolutely, and again, it's like it's been a common theme with that, but it's nonetheless the truth. Northeast right now has some of the best young up and coming talent in pro wrestling today. Period. Stop. It's not a question. It's a fact. And Kylon King is one of the people that am biased against. Anyone can see that the rate that he has picked up professional wrestling and the level that he has grown to, how quickly he has been nothing short of astounding to me. He is he's got a little bit of everything, Yeah, athleticism, he's got technique, he's got power, he's got it all. And when he puts dangerous competitors, there is. And again, just the sky is the limit. He's come this far in a short amount of time. Like, he's 10 years younger than me. I'm 32. Like, he might be even younger than that. I'm not quite sure, but either way, the point I'm trying to make is that he's not even close to his prime yet, in my opinion. And that's a scary thought. I can't wait to see what he does next, and I'm sure it'll be no exception.
Yeah, the sky's the limit with this kid. He's young, and like you said, the Northeast right now is on fire. I always thought the Northeast had a really great scene, but right now is just there's probably just an unlimited amount of really great up and comers, like especially in the New Haven area. I think that.
And it's in terms of us, it's within a 2-hour radius. I mean, we've got Rhode Island with XWA and New World Extreme that are doing tremendous things, and we got on the other end we got Massachusetts. Shut Up and Wrestle is building. Is building Kevin Landry's Pro Wrestling Combine are building big juices out of there. A guy like comes out of there, the Mark, and so they all pollinate the Northeast as well. And there's a lot of stuff going on in Massachusetts, and even all the way up in Maine. Like you got Limitless, you got Vacation Land, and other places up there. And then not only that, but we're in close proximity to New York too. And then we're seeing guys like PJ Savage, Jay Bougie, the faceless one. They're starting to come through here too now, and they're starting to make their mark. And it's incredible. And then too, like guys that have been around too, guys like Danny Adam, Guy Sadlowski together, they're together these a lot, and it's really incredible just to see the level of talent. How where they were at, how they new faces that continue to just pop up and impress. It's incredible.
Is there any matches that I'm missing? I know the women's match was taken off the bill.
Yes, unfortunately, I was looking forward to that one myself.
That match I was really interested in. I just watched that Megan Bain win the women's Super 8 just a couple weeks
Yes.
ago. That was
she's making quite the name for herself.
Yeah, that tournament was phenomenal, and she performed at top level in that. So I was really excited about seeing her there, and I guess I found out the other day that match was a no. Is there any other matches listed? I'm trying to remember offhand.
I believe those are all the major. We're gonna disappear from your screens for a second, folks. It's okay. I got a face for radio, so don't you worry. But let me check it out. Let's see. We talked about the heavyweight title, talked about the tag team titles, the open challenge for City Boys, and yeah, we covered all the major bases so far. So.
And then just the 30-man Rumble match, which is, there's everybody in it. Sammy Diaz, Elijah Six, Bull Dread. RJ Rude, Zane Bernardo.
Yeah. We got some champions in there. We got Chris Battle, the Alley Fights champion. Yep. He's going to be in it. We got Zafar Al-Rahi, the United States champion. He's going to be in it. So they might want to double up on their gold. You never know. It's
Lucas Chase, of course.
Yes, he will be in there.
By the way, it's my pick. By the way.
Oh, you're picking. That's a good dark horse pick. I'm not going to lie.
I could be completely off. I just think the way the guy's been killing it every time I watch him.
Well, and that's the thing that's great about the Rumbles is that you never know. Everybody has the exact same chance as everybody else. It's very easy to just throw somebody off the top rope, and it's hard to stay in there. So it's literally anyone can win, and you kind of just touched on it. There's names that are veterans in there, like just 20 plus years in the business. Bull Dread, is going to be in there. He's been 20, right? I want to make sure I got that right.
He's at 20, I think. Was it last year? Was his 20th year?
Yeah, I think. Okay.
Because I remember he was promoting that very heavily when he was.
Yes.
And then he's pushing towards his 25th year.
Yep. Yeah. So that's the thing. I mean, he's been a huge name, like for years. So he's going to be in there. And then again, you got the young talent guys like, Sammy Diaz, Elijah Six representing the firm in there, insanely rude, back home in Paradise Alley, trying to make a name for themselves back here after going out and about and really getting a huge following and putting their name out to the broader audiences. So there's going to be a great mix of talent. I mean, Mario Mancini and Paul Roma are going to, I know Mario was. I'm not sure Paul. We saw a little promo there. I'm not sure if he signed on for it officially or not yet. But
yeah. I know he's interested, but I think that's a name that I definitely, if Roma, if he comes out to the Jimmy Hart song, what's that song that Crank It Up that he did when he was in the 80s?
Yep.
I'll flip out, dude. So it's like, I'm gonna be excited if actually Roma does jump in, because that'll be a fun little moment to see Roma. I have not seen Roma wrestle in person in a number of years. Holy crap! It's probably been over 20 years, if not longer than that. So
yeah. No, I've seen him. I had the privilege of seeing him at the two Mohegan Sun shows that we did for Paradise Alley back, and then let me tell you what, if I get to his age and I look like that, the job well done for me. Because I mean, he is still in phenomenal shape. So
okay, he looks like he's about 30 years younger than he actually is. Like the shape
accurate. Very accurate.
But Matt, is there anything else you'd like to push towards the listeners?
Well, let me tell you what, folks. Paradise Alley. We're under a week away now from the Rumble in Paradise. Once again, as you mentioned, Rick, it is going to be live pay-per-view FITE TV for the low price of just $9.99. You will not regret making a purchase. And if you live in the Connecticut area, please, or even the New England area, please do feel free to come down live to the JTC of Greater New Haven. Because of restrictions now, we're not able to have as many as we hope in the building, but we'd still love to have you there if you were able to make it. and it's going to be a quality event. So make sure you follow Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling on Facebook, at official PAPW on Twitter, at official_PAPW on Instagram. I'm sure there's going to be more announcements, maybe, a few surprises, a few last minute additions to the Rumble that are going to be announced this week. So, please stay tuned. And for me personally, you can find me, Matt Dacorte, on Facebook. I don't really use Twitter anymore. It just wasn't hitting, so I have much more luck on Facebook and Instagram. So Matt Dacorte on Facebook, at MJ Dacorte on Instagram. You can check out what I'm doing. Again, Rumble in Paradise is this weekend. On a personal note for me, the weekend after that, Test of Strength, which is pretty much my second home. They're going to have a tremendous event on September 4th. Eddie Edwards from Impact Wrestling is going to be in there. I believe he is in a fatal four-way with the K1 Classic champion Mike Skyros, the Grapple God Jordan Rowe, another tremendous up-and-coming talent in the Northeast, and forgive me, I know there's another very talented wrestler from Test of Strength that is going to be in that fatal four-way. So check out, Test of Strength on Facebook, at TOS Wrestling 1 on Twitter and Instagram. Check out the details. I believe it is Fight for Your Dreams 4 is the event on September 4th. Again, it's not in front of me right now. So, but I'm 99% confident that's it. And it's going to be just an absolute tremendous event. Kylon King and Flash Waller, they're a tag team over there, so they'll be in action as well. Speaking of them, so, and just top to bottom, again, like I said, it's not in front of me, so I can't name it, but when you look at it, if you'll say, damn, because it's that good. So that's what's next for me. And then again, Cosplay Championship Wrestling at Kineticon later this month. More Blood, Sweat, and Tears, or should I say that? Coming in September, Cosplay Championship Wrestling, my bad. And then also coming in September, more Blood, Sweat, and Tears. More Shut Up and Wrestle. And like I said, at this point, who knows where you're going to see me next? I don't even know where you might see me next, and then that's kind of exciting. So, so stay tuned to me. Stay tuned for Paradise Alley Professional Wrestling. And as we talked about, Rick, there's just a ton of great wrestling in the Northeast. So support, not only us at Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling, not only me, but support the independent wrestling scene here, because you are definitely going to bear witness to some main event level talent that's going to be on TV in a few short years. So see him while you can. See him before you're spending an arm and a leg on tickets elsewhere, and so that way you can say you were there to see so and so before they were on TV.
That's awesome, because there is, like I said, we talked about it earlier, there's so much great talent here. So check it out, Matt.
Sure.
I want to thank you once again for coming. Always a pleasure having you on, and we'll have to have you on again soon just to promote all those events that you just had. You talked about.
Absolutely. And like I said, anytime you want, Rick, it's always a pleasure talking and hanging out with you, my friends. So you know where to find me, and I will definitely, like I said, I will always make time to get on the Pro Wrestle Zone.
Thank you, sir.
No problem, my friend.